Hi, this is Cheryl with the Cut at Home Design Team. I'm here today with a Mother's Day card featuring some dies by Marianne Design. I say it's Mother's Day because that's what I had in mind when I made it, but certainly it can be for any occasion. You'll see in a few minutes how easy it would be to change the sentiment at the bottom to love you, Mom, or thinking of you, or anything that you want. I want to start first by showing you the die set that I think is the star of the card, and that's this one right here, the one that creates those beautiful flowers. This is the Marianne Design Creatable Dies Rosebuds and Leaves. So it gives you two different sizes of flowers. Back to the card, I can show you that both of these are the larger flower, and this is the smaller one. This is what the smaller one looks like cut out. It just comes out in a circle like this. To form the rosebud, what I do is work with it a little bit to add just a little bit of dimension. So I work it all the way into the center of the spiral, trying to add a little bit of, curve to it, get it used to the idea that it's going to curve around whether it wants to or not, essentially. Then what I'm going to do is grab it from the beginning end, and I'm going to kind of fold it over and begin to roll it. I'm going to roll it as tightly as possible. I can't emphasize that enough. If you roll it loosely, you're just going to end up having to re-roll the flower. If I roll it too tightly, I can let go and let it relax out, and it will still look beautiful. So if you get used to rolling it real tightly, it will work better for you. It does get a little bit more of a challenge as you work toward the center because your working area is smaller, but it's all good. You'll get there eventually. You can see I'm rolling really, really tight here. It should be more of a circle rather than a flat, but you can go back and reshape it as you go along. So I'm going to roll, roll, roll. When I get to this part at the center, right here, I want to put some liquid adhesive because that's what's going to hold my flower together. So I'm going to roll to that point. Again, my liquid adhesive would be there. At this point, I want to let my little bud go. I certainly don't want it that tight. And I'm going to begin to loosen and shape it. You have a lot of flexibility at this point. But once you're happy with it, tack it down on that glue, hold it in place until that glue sets and won't let go. Here my rosebud is still quite tight, so I'm just going to work on loosening it up a little bit more. But again, play with it until you're happy with it, and then set it aside and let it dry. The large rosebud, same thing. Some people think it's a little easier, so you might want to do some practice ones of the large rosebud first before tackling the small. This is the little leaf cutout. Hopefully you can see the detail that comes on that leaf. I did not do a separate embossing step in my die cutting. I simply did the die cutting, and this is the detail that came out. So it's gorgeous. I could enhance that a little bit with chalk or something. I left it plain from my card here. Now my last step always in working with the flowers is to do a technique. I don't know anything else to call it other than smushing. So this is one that I prepared before I glued it. The glue is dry. I already did add a center to this one. Whether you have the center in or not, you can do the smushing and add the center later. What you're going to do is give it 2 or 3 sprays of water. You don't want to soak it, but you want to get it a little bit moist so that you can work with it. This is just a clear acrylic block. I'm going to take that down straight over the top, and I'm going to press on it. Press that down into place. That'll give your flower a little more vintagey appeal. If you like, you can use the rolled up version. Nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely beautiful too. I just kind of prefer these. They're a little bit more malleable, although still very dimensional. Be sure and let it dry before you add the center if you haven't already done that. Another die that I used for this card, and one that I think is so much fun, this is the Marianne Creatables. Yes, it's a Creatables die. I had to think about that for a minute. This is the Tassel Fringe die. Look at how cool that is. This is what that die set looks like. Again, we're dealing with 2 different sizes. This is the long one here, and 2 of the shorter ones. Very, very easy to form the tassels again. More rolling. If you don't like rolling, this is probably the wrong video for you. So again, what I do is take this to the wrong side, and I'm just running my nail along the edge to add a little bit of a curve. If I get started with a curve, it's more likely to want to roll around with me. For this one, you may want to use tweezers to hold the end. I don't, because I do better without, but whatever makes it work better for you. But once again, you're going to start at one edge and just roll, roll, roll in. Got to keep the little fringes in place, otherwise they'll mess things up. Roll tight, roll loose, whichever you prefer. Mine are all rolled pretty tight. When you get to the end, again, a little drop of liquid glue at the end will hold it into place. I would let it glue it, let it dry, and then worry about flaring it out. So this is the Tassel Fringe die. There's also several other Creatables Tassels dies. This is the Trendy Tassel die. So it's a little bit straighter. It comes out looking like this, as opposed to having the wavy lines in between. And it's a little bit straighter tassel when it's created. Again, same process for creating. All the little prongs are the same length. Then our last tassel from Marianne, and this one's a lot of fun too, is the Deco Tassel. This one features shorter little strands at one end and longer at the other. I've seen it rolled both ways. The short rolled in, which gives it a lot of fullness and not much on the outside, just have the ends curled up. Or the way I rolled mine was to roll the long ends in first, and then the short ones come and fold over the top. So either way, you end up with a really cute little tassel. They're all different. They're all so much fun. Tassels are so trendy now. Check out these dies. They're too fun and too easy to use. Last but by no means least is the Alphabet die that I used here. This is also a Marianne this is a collectible die though. It's the Alphabet. Here you've got upper and lowercase, both on the same die set. The dies are all attached here. So it's very easy. If I need uppercase letters, I'm running them all together. Same with lowercase. 6 of one, half dozen of another. Sometimes you prefer to have separate letters, so I only cut the number of M's I need and don't have any extras. But frankly, with something this small, it's just as easy to have them attached than punch out the letters you want. For my Simple with Love sentiment, everything I needed was there in one pass of the capitals and lowercase. Easy peasy. So lots and lots of fun. Be sure and check out the Marianne Design dies on the Cut at Home website. There's so many out there for Mother's Day and for other needs. Thanks for watching.